वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। नारायणं पद्मभुवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यम् श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्मपादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यम् तं तोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यान् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। अपार करुणा सिन्धुं ज्ञानदं शान्तरूपिणम् श्रीचन्द्रशेखरगुरुं प्रणमामि मुदान्वहम्। यत्कृपालेशमात्रेण पुमान् पूर्णः प्रजायते तं वन्दे ब्रह्मविद्धुर्यं सद्गुरुं चन्द्रशेखरम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणम् तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। सूत्रार्थो वर्ण्यते यत्र वाक्यैः सूत्रानुकारिभिः
सूत्रार्थो वर्ण्यते यत्र वाक्ये सूत्रानुकारिभिः
स्वपदानि च वर्ण्यन्ते भाष्यं भाष्यविदो विदुः।
स्वपदानि च वर्ण्यन्ते भाष्यं भाष्यविदो विदुः।
ॐ आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि
ओमाप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि
वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि
वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि
सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम्
ब्रह्मोपनिषदम्
नाहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम्
माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्यात्
मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत्
मां ब्रह्म निराकरोत्
अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु।
अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणमे अस्तु
तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु
तदात्मनिरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु
ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
चतुर्थ अध्यायः अष्टम मन्त्रः तस्यै तपोदमकर्मेति प्रतिष्ठा
तस्यै तपोदमः कर्मेति प्रतिष्ठा
वेदाः सर्वाङ्गानि सत्यमायतनम्
सर्वाङ्गानि सत्यमायतनम्
याम् इमां ब्राह्मीम् उपनिषदम्
याम् इमां ब्राह्मीमुपनिषदम्
तव अग्रे अब्रूम
तव अब्रूम
तस्यै तस्याः उक्तायाः उपनिषदः
तस्यै उपनिषदः
प्राप्तिपायभूतानि
प्राप्त्युपायभूतानि
तप आदीनि
तप आदीनि
तपः कायेन्द्रियमनसां समाधानम्
तपः कायेन्द्रियमनसां समाधानम्
दमः उपशमः
दमः उपशमः
कर्म अग्निहोत्रादि
कर्म अग्निहोत्रादि
एतैर्हि संस्कृतस्य
संस्कृतस्य
सत्त्वशुद्धिद्वारा तत्त्वज्ञानोत्पत्तिर्दृष्टा
तत्त्वशुद्धिद्वारा तत्त्वज्ञानोत्पत्तिर्दृष्टा
दृष्टा हि अमृदितकल्मषस्य
दृष्टा हि अमृतिकल्मषस्य
उक्ते अपि ब्रह्मणि
ब्रह्मणि
अप्रतिपत्तिः विपरीतप्रतिपत्तिश्च
अप्रतिपत्तिः विपरीतप्रतिपत्तिश्च
यतेन्द्रविरोचनप्रभृतीनाम्
यतेन्द्रविरोचनप्रभृतीनाम्
तस्माद् इह वा अतीतेषु वा बहुषु जन्मान्तरेषु
तस्मात् अतीतेषु वा बहुषु जन्मान्तरेषु
तप आदिभिः कृतसत्त्वशुद्धेः
तप आदिभिः कृतसत्त्वशुद्धेः
ज्ञानं समुत्पद्यते यथा श्रुतम्
ज्ञानं समुत्पद्यते यथा श्रुतम्
यस्य देवे परा भक्तिः यथा देवे तथा गुरौ
यस्य देवे परा भक्तिः यथा देवे तथा गुरौ
तस्यैते कथिता ह्यर्थाः प्रकाशन्ते महात्मनः इति
तस्यैते कथिता ह्यर्थाः प्रकाशन्ते महात्मनः इति
मन्त्रवर्णात् ज्ञानमुत्पद्यते पुंसाम्
ज्ञानमुत्पद्यते पुंसाम्
क्षयात् पापस्य कर्मणः इति स्मृतेश्च
क्षयात् पापस्य कर्मणः इति स्मृतेश्च
up to that we saw in this mantra certain sadhanas as preparatory disciplines sadhanas are talked about in the presence of which Jnanotpattihi, the rise of knowledge, will happen without any obstacles, in the absence of which the pratibandha being there, therefore jnanotpattihi na bhavati. So these sadhanas prepare the adhikari. The adhikari prepares a person, he becomes an adhikari, gains jnana yogyata, and therefore jnanotpattihi bhavati. No chet na bhavati. Yaha adhikari tasya jnanotpattihi. Yaha anadhikari tasya jnanotpattihi na bhavati. Pratibandha bhavat. Pratibandha vidyate chet jnanotpattihi na bhavati. Yasya pratibandha ज्ञानोत्पत्तेः प्रतिबन्धाः सन्ति सः अनधिकारी. So therefore, अधिकारित्ववर्धनार्थं कानिचित् साधनानि उक्तानि. तस्यै, Upanishad uses the word tasya iti chaturthi tasyaha uktayaha Upanishadaha. Upanishad which was taught yam imam brahmanaha sambandhi brahmim Upanishadam tava is shishyasya agre vayam abruma. That Upanishad which we taught, which we presented before you, iti Acharya says, you, for that Upanishad Brahma Vidya prapti upaya bhutani sadhanani tapa adini tapa etc. What is tapaha? Tapaha is kaya, sharira, indriya, indriyani and manas. Tesham samadhanam. Tesham samadhanam. They are not agitated. They are all in alignment. They all cooperate for the pursuit of knowledge. That is samadhanam. Chitta samadhanam. And of course, kaya, indriya also. Damaha is upashamaha, withdrawing the sense organs from the actions which are not contributing to moksha. So therefore, that is Damaha. Karma is observing the duties, nityanaimittikadi, shastra, shrauta, smarta, vigitani, karmani, karaniyani, that karma to be done, agnihotra, iti, agnihotra, sandhya vandanadi, karmani. Etehi samskritasya, by all this sadhana. Not only this, by this we have to understand other disciplines also. So therefore, etehi, by these, the person who becomes samskritaha, by all this, he becomes a refined person, a matured person. He gains the pakvata required for jnanotpattihi, therefore tasya sattva shuddhi dvara. So therefore, antakaranam has to be shuddha. When antakaranam is shuddha, when shravanam, when knowledge, when shravanam happens, knowledge has to rise. There is no choice. When pramana being operated, antakaranam is ready, then it is like when you open your eyes, you have to see. There is no choice unless you don't have vision. If you have vision, if you have the capability to see, then the moment you open your eyes, you see the object in front. So to hear also. Therefore, sattva shuddhi dvara tattva jnanotpattihi, through the purification of the antakaranam, through the removal of the mala, ragadvesha, the mala of the antakaranam, which are the pratibandha. ज्ञानोत्पत्तिः तत्त्वस्य ज्ञानोत्पत्तिः तत्त्वज्ञानोत्पत्तिः आत्मज्ञानोत्पत्तिः दृष्टा एव इट इज सीन otherwise amridita kalmashasya when kalmashas are not removed for those person for that person amriditah kalmashah yasya purushasya sah purushah amridita kalmashah tasya ज्ञानोत्पत्तिः न दृष्टा उक्ते अपि ब्रह्मणि even when this brahma is taught not only apratipattihi, sometimes viparita pratipattihi, quite opposite understanding also possible. Yata Indra Virochana Pravrithinam, as it is seen in the case of Indra and Virochana, the teacher is Brahmaji. Brahmaji taught to both, but Indra in the beginning he had apratipatti, but later because he was a thinking person, therefore he understood later. Pratipattihi tasya abhavat, kintu Virochanasya viparita pratipattihi. So therefore, in the beginning, since both were not prepared, therefore, for Indra it is apratipattihi, for Virochana it is viparita pratipattihi. And Virochana was satisfied and never came back to Brahmaji for clarification. So therefore, because Antakaranam, because there is Antakaranam is not Shuddha, there is lack of preparedness. Asuri Sampata, Indra is Devi Sampata, being Deva. That is why he could think and come back and ask for clarification again. But Virochana is Asuri Sampat. Devi Sampat Vimokshaya in Gita Bhagavan says. Devi Sampat is Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti. Devi Sampat, wealth, spiritual wealth. Therefore, Tasma, therefore, Ihava in this Janmaniva, Atava Atitesha Bhagushu Janmantreshu, or in the past so many Janmas, by Tapa, etc., all this sadhana, the person who has refined, who has gained antakarna shuddhi, for him, jnanam utpadyate, jnanam arises, jnanam happens for that person, bhagunam janmanamante jnanavan, mam prapadyate. Gita pramanam is there. Yata shrutam, shrutim manatim karamya, here the shruti. Acharya says, yata shrutam, that is, yasya deve para bhaktihi, yatha deve tata guru, bhaktihi. Bhakti is there for yasya deve, as the bhakti is there for the Lord, for Ishtadevata. So too the bhakti for the Guru, one who has got bhakti for the Guru bhakti. It means bhakti, Shraddha, it is there for the Acharya. So the one who has got devotion for his teacher, as he has for his Bhagavan, his Devata, for that person, it means a person who is Bhaktiman. Bhaktiman means that person as he could have bhakti because he has got sattva shuddhi. So that is tasya, that is understood. Tasya katitaha artaha prakashante. For him, what is taught becomes evident. It means the bhakti, not bhakti, shraddha, all these are there for in that person. Therefore, he could able to see. Therefore, for that person, the artha, the meaning of what the teacher had taught becomes immediately evident. There is no time gap because of being qualified. Therefore, for such a Mahatmanaha, great person, Mahanatma Yasya. So, bhakti, when we say not only bhakti, means it includes other sadhana, yoga, karma yoga, etc., upasana. So, therefore, bhakti for the Ishvara means Ishvara Arpana Buddhya Karma karoti, prasada buddhya karma palam svikaroti. Therefore, karma yogi is the ultimate bhakta. So therefore, tasya artaha katitaha uktaha artaha, the meaning of artaha, the meaning, the message, the meaning taught by the teacher, taught by the shastram, conveyed by the shastram, that becomes evident. Iti mantra varnat. Iti mantraha varnyate shveta upanishati. Tadvat Mahabharate api smritescha. In Smriti Vakyam also it is there. Jnanam utpadyate pumsam. Jnanam rises in the person when papa kshaya happens. Papa kshaya, durita kshayat. So durit papam is the durita which is the obstacle, the papa karma. So papa karma durita is removed by yoga, karma yoga, removed by upasana ityadi. Sadhana dwara papakshayah karmanah papakshayah bhavati. Papaha eva pratibandhaka rupena vartante. Atah papasya kshayat jnanam utpadyate eva. When the screen is removed, you see the thing. When clouds are removed, when clouds go away, sun shines. So therefore, pratibandha nivrittage sadhanani. For mokshasya sakshat sadhanam jnanam. Jnanam gives moksha, and for jnanam to happen, all this sadhanani. And this is corroborated by Shruti Vakyam and Smriti Vakyam. Now, the next paragraph. Iti shabdaha upalakshanatva pradarshanarthaha.
इति शब्दः उपलक्षणत्वप्रदर्शनार्थः
प्रदर्शनार्थः
Iti evamadi anyat api evamadi anyat api.
इति
एवमादि अन्यदपि
एवमादिमन्येदपि
ज्ञानोत्पत्तेः उपकारकम्
ज्ञानोत्पत्तेः
ज्ञानोत्पत्तेः उपकारकम्
उपकारकम्
अमानित्वमदम्बित्वम् इत्यादि उपदर्शितं भवति.
मानित्वम्
अदम्बित्वम्
उप्याचम्
इति उपदर्शितं भवति
उपदर्शितं
आदि उपदर्शितं
भवति आदि
इत्यादि उपदर्शितं भवति. इत्यादि उपदर्शितं भवति. संधि in संधि. इति शब्दः in the mantra. इति शब्दः तपो कर्मे इति प्रतिष्ठा कर्म इति शब्दः is इति शब्दः is only for उपलक्षणम्. उपलक्षणत्व प्रदर्शनार्थः इति शब्दः वर्तते. It is only upalaksham. It shows, it represents other qualities, the other qualities, not only damaha, shamaha ityadi, other adhikaritvam, other qualities which are required for jnanotpatti. Iti shabdaha. Therefore, the word iti, tapo, dharma, karma, iti. So tapaha, damaha, not only these tapo, dharma, karma. Iti shabda, shamaha, titiksha, shraddha, samadhanam, viveka, vairagya, mumukshutvam, amanitvam, adambitvam, agimsa, kshanti, rajavam. All these things are included. Therefore, pradarshanarthaha. So iti shabda, it just represents the other qualities which are required for jnanotpatti. Evam iti evamadi. Iti evamadi, beginning with adi is beginning with these qualities. Anyatapi, other sadhanas also, other disciplines also. Jnanotpattehe upakarakam bhavati. Jnanasya utpattihi jnanotpattihi. Jnanotpattehe upakarakam. It is upakarakam, conducive. It is favorable for the rise of knowledge. Amanitvam, adambitvam, इत्यादि उपदर्शितं भवति गीतायाम्. Tatamaनित्यम्, adambittvam, ahimsa, kshantirajam, all those, the 20 spiritual values. It is 20 spiritual values, that is also only Upalakshanam. Or the 20 spiritual values, all the values can be included in the 20 spiritual values. You can have a list of values, but if these 20 values are present, other values are understood. So by iti shabda, all these are included. Amanitvam, absence of manitvam, amanitvam, adambitvam, there is no dhamba, adambitvam, absence of pretension. Therefore, similarly, ahimsa, then kshantihi, endurance, accommodation, arjavam, straightforwardness, etc. All those things are also upadarshitam bhavati, they are also indicated by iti shabda. So ज्ञानोत्पत्तेः उपकारकं भवति. Then प्रतिष्ठापादौ
प्रतिष्ठापादौ
पादौ इव अस्याः
पादौ इव अस्याः
तेषु हि सत्सु
तेषु हि
सत्सु
प्रतितिष्ठते ब्रह्मविद्या
प्रतिष्ठते
ब्रह्मविद्या
ब्रह्मविद्या
प्रवर्तते पद्भ्यामिव पुरुषः.
प्रवर्तते पद्भ्यामिव पुरुषः.
The word pratishtha is there in the moolam. Tasai tapo dhamma, sorry. Tasai tapo dhamma kharmeti pratishtha. Pratishtha iti. Pratistapurvaka, pratipurvaka stadhatu. Pratishtha. So pratishtha padav. Padav, the pratishtha, the word, is padav. Padav, padaha, padav. So therefore pratishtha is the padav, the two legs, feet. A thing is there, it means it stands on something. A thing is standing on what? That is the pratishtha. So a human being stands, means is supported by two legs. So padav. So therefore, padav iva asyaha kasyaha upanishadaha brahma vidyayaha. So for the Upanishad stands on support of Upanishad. Padav iva, like the feet which supports the human beings. We're talking about even Padav is 2 feet, human beings. If you take animals, 4 feet. So 2 feet, Padav iva, Brahma Vidyayaha, Asyaha Brahma Vidyayaha. Yata, the 2 feet support the beings, human beings. Similarly, Upanishad is supported by these 2 feet, Padav iva. Padav iva, like the 2 legs support. So for Upanishads, Padav iva is supported. In the presence of it, Teshu hi satsu, only when these supports are there, Brahma Vidya is supported. Teshu satsu, Brahma Vidya pratitishthati. Teshu satsu, when the feet, the 2 legs, when the feet is there, then Brahma Vidya is pratitishthati. Brahma Vidya stands firm, stands on these 2 support, the legs. Parvartate padbyam iva purushaha, as a purushaha, as a being, human being, Pravartate, it does various action. Supported by whom? So, or by what? By the 2 legs, Padbyamiva. So Pravartate, Padbyamiva Purushaha, just the person, a person. Pravartate, he performs action, he walks, he runs with the 2 legs. So to the Brahma Vidya is, so Brahma Vidya is Teshu hi satsu, when these 2 legs when the support is there, yes, it is supported, pratitishthati. So Brahma Vidya is supported and the sadhanas are the supports. So this Vidya is supported by the support like this tapaha, damaha, karma, ityadi, sadhanani. The sadhanas, they support the Brahma Vidya. That is, meaning is, when the supports are there, Brahma Vidya will be effective. So since Brahma Vidya is supported is not physically supporting, in the presence of which Brahma Vidya will be fruitful, will be effective. In the absence of which, then Brahma Vidya will be ineffective. That will be an academic knowledge, a piece of knowledge, like any other knowledge, information, it will be a piece of information. That is the support. That is the meaning of the Pratishta. Pado iva asyaha upanishadaha. Teshu tatsu Brahma Vidya pratitishthati. So Brahma Vidya stands firm when these two legs are there. So Brahma Vidya becomes unshakable. When the supports are there, Brahma Vidya becomes unshakable in the person. That means it will be strong enough to remove the avidya and therefore free the person from samsara. Therefore, these are compared to the pada. Padaha iva padu iva asyaha. So therefore, pratishta, the word, is these are the pratishta. These are these feet. We are talking about human beings. Acharya has got human being in his mind. Therefore, he says padu iva. Then in the mantra, Vedaha, so tapodama karmeti pratishtaha, then Vedaha sarvangani satyamayitanam. That Acharya explains. Vedaha chatvaraha
वेदाः चत्वारः
sarvani cha angani shikshadini shat
सर्वाणि च
सर्वाङ्गानि शिक्षादीनि षट्
chatvaraha Vedaha, chatur shabdaha. Veda shabda is pullinga, therefore chatvaraha. Four Vedas, Rig, Yajus, Sama, and Atharva, Chatvaraha Vedaha. Then Sarvani Changani, Sarvani Changani, Sarvani Angani, Shikshadini. Shiksha, Kalpaha, Niruktam, Chandaha, Vyakarnam, Jyotishamiti, all these Shat Angani, Shadangani, the first Shikshadini, Shat, the six Angas, beginning with Shiksha, etc. Shikshadini, Shat. In the mantra, Vedaha, Sarvangani is Sarvangani, Sarvani cha, Tani Angani, Sarvangani, Karmadaraya, Tani Kani, Chakshadini, the six Angas. Aparavidya in the language of Mundaka Upanishad. So Sikshadini, Shate, six. So this is Vedaha Sarvani. Then Karma Jnana Prakashakatvat Vedanam
कर्मज्ञानप्रकाशकत्वात् वेदानां
Tad Rakshanartatvat Anganam
तद्रक्षणार्थत्वात् अङ्गानां
Pratishtatvam.
प्रतिष्ठा
त्वं
Acharya gives two meanings, we will see. So Vedaha Chatvaraha. Then Sarvangani, that is Sarvani Angani Shikshadini. The Veda being a Pramana, the entire Veda. Karma Prakashakaha Vedaha, Jnana Prakashakaha Vedaha. Therefore, Prakashakatvat. Karma Jnana Prakashakatvat Vedaha. Vedasya Purva Bhagaha Karma Prakashakaha. Antima Bhagaha Jnana Prakashakaha. Vedanta. Therefore, Vedas are the Prakashaka, revealer, Pramanam. Vedas are the revealers of both the karma and jnanam, atma jnanam, karma kanda and jnana kanda, purva bhaga, uttara bhaga. Then tad rakshanarthatvat. Vedasya rakshanam katam bhavati. Rakshanam means understanding of the vakyas of the Veda, understanding the tatparyam of the Veda, understanding the vakyams also. In the case of Veda Purva, the meanings of these sentences have to be understood. What Vama, what yajna gives, which result, and how the yajna is to be performed. All these are said, what time, and what are the ahutis to be given. So many things mentioned, and therefore the meaning of the words and the meaning of the vakya, all these things are to be known. Then only it can be performed. So that which are helpful in that which are helpful in understanding and performing with regard to Veda Purva or even with regard to Vedanta, that which are helpful in understanding the Vakyas, the sentences of the Vedanta Mahavakya even. That is the Rakshanam, Tad Rakshanatvat Anganam. So Angas, Veda Angas. They are helpful, they are important, they are necessary, required to understand the Veda, Shikshadini. Because they are meant for the protection of the Veda. Protection is proper understanding is a protection. Understand the Veda, all these are important. Therefore, Veda and Vedangas, they enjoy the status of being the lex Padaha of Brahma Vidya. Since we are dealing with Upanishad here, therefore Veda Purva is not talked about here. We are talking about Vedas to understand the Vedanta Upanishad. Therefore, therefore for the Brahma Vidya and Vedanta is included in the Veda and can be understood with the help of Vedanga. Therefore, Veda and Vedangas are the enjoy the Patishtatum, the status of being the Padu, the Patishta for Brahma Vidya. If Vedangas are not there, then what will happen? Then Vedanta will be wrongly interpreted. Vyakaranam is important. Vyakaranam is one of the Vedanga. Shiksha is important. Varnocharanam, chanting, recitation. If there is wrong recitation, the swara change is there in recitation, then that will have implication, that will have implication in the form of different meaning of the word. Like in the case of the compound, Indra Shatru Vardasva, there's small mistake in the swara, therefore the meaning of the Indra Shatru, the compound, becomes Bhagavrihi. So the meaning itself is changed. And that resulted in Vritrasura, that the story is Vritrasura, he did tapas asking for a son to kill Indra, but he, because of the wrong swara, asked for a boon that his son would be killed by Indra. So therefore, Shiksha is important. Shiksha, therefore, Shiksha means that Ucharanam of the Varna, the letters, etc., all those things. Shikshambhya Akyas Syamaha Varnaswaraha Matra Balam Samasantanaha, all those are important. And Vyakaram, of course, important to understand the words and Vitpatti of the words and the meaning of the words in the Vakya. Therefore, Mimamsa is required. Therefore, Padashastram, Mimamsa Shastram, all these are required. Padashastram is Vyakaranam. The knowledge of the Padam is required. Padashastram is Vyakaranam. And the Padas make the sentence, how these Padas are connected. Therefore, Mimamsa is required. Mimamsa Shastram. In fact, in the Mahabhashya, Patanjali Magarshi, he writes, Kani punaha shabdanushasana vyakarnasya prayojanani. Vyakaranam is called shabdanushasanam, the science of grammar. Shabdasya anushasanam, the discipline of the words, how the words have to be, how the words are to be formed, the etymology, how the words are constructed. Vyakaranam is nothing but Prakriti, Pratyaya, Vibhagaha, that is Vyakaranam. By seeing a word, what is a Prakriti and what is a Pratyaya? That Vibhaga should be able to done. For that, we have a Anushasan, we discipline. That Shabda Anushasanam is called Vyakaranam. So therefore, Shabda Anushasanasya Vyakaranasya Prayojanani Kani. What is the use of this Shabda Anushasanam, the Vyakaranam? The Mahabhashyam, the Mahabhashyakara says, Raksha Uga Agama Lagu Asandegaha Prayojanani. Five Prayojanams. I'm just giving example for Vyakarana, the Vedanga. Raksha Uga Agama Lagu, then Asandegaha Prayojanani. These are the Prayojanams of the Shabdanushasranam, that is Vyakaranam. What is Raksha? Raksha is protection of the mantra, handing over the mantra as it was revealed to the rishis. In the parampara, handing over the mantras as obtained by the rishis to the next generation. So Vedas can be protected only when there is right knowledge of the words. Therefore, Vedanam Adhyayam Vyakaranam, that Raksha is. Therefore, it is by that Vedan Paripalagishyati Samyaka. Then Uga, Raksha is one, Prayojanam. Uga is the ability to understand, to analyze the mantras, where should be used. So, when Vedic mantras are used in daily karma rituals, so there are some yagas, Prakriti yaga, like Agnishtoma Yajna. Agnishtoma Yajna is there, where for example, there the procedure is not given elaborately. They are called Vikriti yogas. So where procedure is not mentioned in the Vikriti, then it has been performed as the Prakriti. There are some yagas called Prakriti yaga, like Agnishtoma yaga. Other yagas are there, Vikriti yaga. So Prakriti yaga, Vikriti yaga. Prakriti yaga, the explanation is given elaborately. Vikriti yaga is not given. Prakrititva Vikritihi Kartavya iti. There is a Vakya. So Vikriti, when it is, since elaboration is not given, but Prakriti is given, Prakriti yaga. So this Vikriti yaga also to be performed like Vikriti yaga. So in Agnishtoma Prakriti yaga, Agniye Tvam Dushtam Nirvapayami, this mantra is there. In the Vikriti yaga, there it is said, for example, the Surya has to be invoked, Surya has to be worshipped in the place of Agni. Sauryam Charuhu Nirvapet Brahmavarchasa Kamaha. Therefore, the right mantra in the Vikritiyaha mentioned Sauryamiti. Surya has to be worshipped. From that, we can understand that the right mantra to be used. Suryaya Tvam Dushtam Nirvapayami. Agnaye Tvam Dushtam Nirvapayami iti Prakritiyaha. In the Vikritiyaha, there is only one instruction given, Surya has to be. Therefore, now Agneya is there, you have to replace Agneya by Suryaya Tvam Dushtam Nirbhapayami, because Surya has to be worshipped. In the Vikriti, Agneya is there, Agneya Tvam Dushtam Nirbhapayami. So therefore, replacing this Agneya by Suryaya, this is possible only when you understand what is Suryam and what is Agni. Surya and Agni. So Agni stands for fire. Agnayatvam Drishtami. Here in the Vikriti Yaga, Surya is worshipped. Surya is Agni only. Therefore, you have to know the meaning of the words, knowledge of the Vyakaranam is required. Then only the ritual can be performed, and performance of the ritual by proper performance of the rituals as mentioned in the Vedas are protected. Therefore, Uga. So Raksha, Uha, Agama referring to that Veda must be learned along with the 6 Anga, which includes Vyakaranam. Therefore, Vyakaranam must be studied. And Lagu is a technical term. Lagu is the knowledge of the words, which is compulsory that every person must know. So that easiest way of knowing is only Vyakaranam. Then Asandeha, that is free from any doubts, ambiguity, any doubts. No ambiguity, no Sandeha, Nisandeha. So all these are the prayojanam of the just the Vyakaranam, which is only an Anga. Similarly for others also. If you take Jyotisha, that what time the should be performed. So the knowledge that the Veda says is karma, this action, the ritual to be performed so and so time. Therefore, Jyotisham is required knowledge of the constellation, etc. All those things, Chiti, etc. So all these are supportive. So therefore, they are required. That is why Vedangas. If Vedangas are not there, Vedas will be wrongly interpreted. Therefore, Vedangas go along with the Veda. So therefore, when it comes to Brahma Vidya, for which the Brahma Vidya is included in the Veda, therefore Brahma Vidya is supported by the Vedas and the Vedangas. For Vedanta also we required. We don't require Jyotisha, etc., but Shiksha is required, Vyakaranam is required. So therefore all these are the support on which the Brahma Vidya stands. That is the meaning. Therefore, it's karma. But here Acharya says karma as well as jnana. Karma jnana prakashakatva vedanam and tad vedasya vedanam rakshanartatva tanganam pratishtatvam. So vedanam anganam cha pratishtatvam asti. The status of being the support for Brahma Vidya is there for the Veda and the Angas, Vedangas. This is one meaning, Pratishtat, for that. Or another meaning is possible. What is the other meaning? Atava
अथवा
भवान्
Pratishta Shabdasya
प्रतिष्ठा
प्रतिष्ठा
शब्दस्य
शब्दस्य
Padarupa Kalpanartatvat
पादरूपकल्पनार्थत्वात्
पादरूपकल्पनार्थत्वात्
Vedaha tu itarani sarvangani shira adini.
वेदाः
वेदाः
तु
तु
इतराणि
इतराणि
सर्वाङ्गानि
सर्वाङ्गानि शिर आदीनि
अधीनि
Asmin pakshe
अस्मिन्
अस्मिन्
पक्षे
पक्षे
Shikshadinam
शिक्षादीनां
Veda Grahanena Eva
वेदग्रहणेन
वेदग्रहणेन
एव
Grahanam Kritam Pratyetavyam
ग्रहणं कृतं
ग्रहणं
कृतं
प्रत्येतव्यम्
प्रतीतव्यम्
Anginihi Grihite
अङ्गिनिः
अङ्गिनीः गृहीते
गृहीते
Angani Grihitani Eva Bhavanti
अङ्गानि
अङ्गानि
गृहीतानि
गृहीतानि
एव
एव
भवन्ति
भवन्ति
Tada Yat Tattvat Anganam.
तदा
तदा
यत्तत्त्वात्
यत्तत्त्वात्
अङ्गानाम्
अङ्गानां
Second meaning is given by the Acharya. That is Pratishta Shabdasya Padarupa Kalpana. So Pratishta, the meaning of the word Pratishta is Padarupa Kalpana, is imagined to be compared to be the Pada, the Kalpanartatvat. Pratishta Shabdasya Padarupa Kalpanarthatva. So, Kalpana analogy that Pratishtha, the word Pratishtha is meant for, is an analogy, is a analogy for legs, pada. That is why Pratishtha, Padu, Asyaha iti Vashakara said before. The word Pratishtha therefore stands for the legs. It is compared to Padarupa Kalpanarthatvat, legs. Then Vedaha and Vedas, Itarani Sarvangani, then Vedas and other Sarvani Angani, all other parts, Shira Adini, they are Vedas, Kalpanarthatvat Vedaha. So, Pratishta Shabdasya Vedarthatvat. The Vedas are, the word Pratishtha is meant in the sense of legs, the feet. Then the Vedaha and Itarani, Vedaha, then Itarani Angani, Sarva Shira Adini. Then Vedas are compared to the Itarani, other Sarvangani, all other limbs like Shiraha, etc. So if the Pratishtha Shabda is the legs, then the Vedaha are compared to the other parts of the, the imagined being. Suppose if you consider Brahma Vidya to be a Brahma Vidya Gavaha, then the Brahma Vidya, that cow has got legs, not only legs, it has got other parts also. Head is there, tail is there, his body is there, other parts are there. So Vedas and therefore are compared to the other parts of the that Brahma Vidya Gau. So if you consider Brahma Vidya, if you imagine Brahma Vidya to be a cow, so it has got legs. Cow has got legs. Cow not only has got legs, other parts are also there. So other parts, other limbs, that is tapaha, dava, karma, iti, etc. If these four are the legs, then Vedas must be the other angas, other limbs, itarani angani. If tapa, dhamma, karma, iti, all these are the legs, connecting the word tapo, dharma, karma, iti, pratishtha, these are the legs of Brahma Vidya, then Vedas must form the angas, other limbs of the Brahma Vidya, cow. Brahma Vidya is Strilinga, therefore it is imagined. Of course, it is cow. Cow, like a cow, it is like a cow, it gives milk. What milk? It gives the milk of knowledge. It gives the milk of knowledge. So, therefore, Gavaha, this is just imagine, even in, we say, we chant the Gita, Dhyana Shloka, Sarvopanishado Gavaha, compared to the cows, Dogda Gopalanandanaha. Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Dugdam Gita Mritam Bhagat. So Upanishads are compared to the cows. And this Vedanta Upanishads compared to the cows. And cow stands on the legs. Tapodama Karma iti. If those are the legs, then Veda stands for the other parts of the cow, the Brahma Vidya cow. Iti, that meaning also Paksha we can, and that meaning also we can take. Asmin Pakshe, in that case, where will you fit the Vedanga if you ask? That Bhashikara says. Asmin Pakshe, in this explanation, Veda Grahanena Eva, by Veda Grahanam, by the word Veda, Shikshadinam Grahanam Bhavati. Veda, when we say Veda, cannot be understood, cannot be studied without the Veda Anga. Shikshadinam stands for Vedangani. So Veda Grahanena Geva, by the very mentioning of the word Veda, other that its Angas, Vedangas, are also Grahanam Kratam iti. Pratyetavyam is to be understood. Jnatavyam. So when by the word Veda, Vedangas are also understood. Therefore, we don't have to take the word Sarvangani to be Vedangani. That is another interpretation. By the word Veda itself, Vedangas are understood. So therefore, Vedas form the other parts of the Brahmavidya, cow, and Vedas itself stands for Veda Angas also. How do you say, suppose if we ask? Angas are there for the Angi. Angani santi yasya Angin Shabda. Like we say Karahasya Stiti Karin. So similarly Angani santi asya Angin Shabda. Angini hi gargite. When Angini, when the thing which has Anga is grihite, then Angas are also grihitani bhavanti eva. If a person arrives, says that he says that comes your home. It means who will come? Its head will come or legs will come. When the person comes, along with the person, the whole body, head, neck, the trunk, the legs, hands, everything, all these are angas. Everything will come. So when we say Yajnadatta arrives, it means Yajnadatta arrives means it stands for all the angas of the Yajnadatta that also come. In fact, all the angas alone form the Yajnadatta, right? So you don't have to wait for his legs to come, or hands to come, or head to come. So therefore, Angini Grihite, when you hold the Yajnadatta, all the other angas are also is included. So therefore, when Yajnadatta comes means all the other limbs come. So when Anga is Angini Grihite, and the main one Anga, the Angini Grihite, when Angi is understood, all the other Angas are also understood. Grihitani Bhavanti eva. So Angi is the main one which has the Angas, the parts. Therefore, when Angini Grihite, Angini Saptami Vyakti, Angini Grihite Sati, Angani Grihitani Bhavanti. Why? Because the Angani do not stand independent of the Angi. So hands, legs, etc. These are the Anga. They cannot be independent of the person. They are dependent on the person. They form the part of the person. Therefore, tat ayatatvat anganam. Tad ayatatva means tat ayatatvat anganam. Ayatatva dependent on. Anganam ayatatva tat. So the parts are dependent on the angi. The parts are not meant for itself, it is meant for the angi. Therefore, angini grihite angani grihitani bhavanti. How we say? Because anganam tadayatatvat. Angas are meant, angas are dependent for the main one. All the angas of the Yajnadatta, eyes, ears, nose, all these are angas, hands, legs, etc. is meant for the person Yajnadatta. Therefore, if Yajnadatta comes home, means all these parts are also come home. They do not exist apart from the Vedanta. So too, when we say Vedas, along with Vedangas are also included. because Vedangas do not exist separate from Vedas. If Vedas are not there, where are Vedangas? What is the purpose of Vedangas then? Shiksha for what purpose then? Shiksha kalpaha niruktam chandaha jyotisham vyakaranam for what purpose? Therefore, they form the anga of the Veda, and therefore Veda is the angi, and Vedangas are angani. So angini Vede grihite angani Vedangani grihitani bhavanti eva tadayatatvat Vedanam ayatatvat Vedanganam. Therefore, this is another interpretation we can give. So two ways we can interpret. Then next line. That Satyam Ayatanam is that is explained by the Acharya. Satyam Ayatanam
Satyam
Ayatanam.
Yatra Trishtati Upanishad Tat Ayatanam
Yatra tishtati
Tishtati
Upanishad
Upanishad Tat
tat
Ayatanam
ayatanam.
Satyamiti
Satyamiti
Yamiti
Amayita
Amayita
Amita
Akautilyam
Akautilyam
Kautilyam
Vangmanakhayanam
Vangmanakaya
Vangmanakhayanam
Teshu hi ashrayati vidya
Teshu
Teshu hi ashrayati ya
Ashrayati Vidyam
Ye amaya vinaha sadavaha
Ye
Amaya
Amaya
Vinaha
Vinaha
Sadavaha
न
Sadavaha
आसुर प्रकृतिषु मायाविषु
Na
Na
Asura
Asura
Prakritishu
Prakritishu Maya Vishu
ayatanam means abode. Satyam is the ayatanam. Satyam ayatanam bhavati kasyaha brahma vidyayaha yatra tishtati upanishad ayatanam, where the brahma vidya tishtati, the first truth, satyam, is the abode, ayatanam for brahma vidyaha. What is ayatanam? Yatra ayatate iti ayatanam, where something stands, something remains. That is the abode. So satyam ayatanam bhavati brahma vidyaya. Yatra tishtati upanishad, in which the Upanishad remains. That is satyam. That is the ayatanam of brahma vidya. Tat ayatanam. Why we say so? Satyam. Satyam is important. Satyam is Andrita Vachanam. Satyam, not only Andrita Vachanam, as a person says, so the person should walk the talk, thinking, talking, and walking, following. All this should be in alignment. Satyamiti Amayita. Mayita na Mayita Amayita. Mayita is playing fast and loose is called Maya. Mayita. Not Maya, Maya from the word. Maya is conjuring, right? So Mayita, not cheating, not playing fast and loose. That is Amayita. You say something and you act differently, but inside you have something. But that's for playing fast and loose. No cheating. That Amayita. Akotiliam. Kutilata, Akotiliam. Kutila is crookedness. Vakratvam. Akotiliam. Free from Kutilatvam. Kautiliam. Kesham Vangmana Kayanam, of the speech, the mind, and the body. So Vag, the speech, the manas and the body. So Tesham Akotilyam Amayita is Satyam. It means Arjam Ityartaha, which is one of the values mentioned in Amanittam Adambittam Agimsa Kshantihi Arjavam Rujubhavaha. It is. And Satyam is with regard to speech, with regard to thinking, with regard to performance with the sharir, with the body. In bodily activities also, the Satyam should manifest. Teshu hi satsu. Teshu hi ashrayati Brahma Vidya. On that only Brahma Vidya is as its ashraya. In the absence of which Brahma Vidya will not be palitam. Therefore, teshu hi, teshu referring to teshu ashrayati Brahma Vidya ye. So teshu ye you can connect in whom, in those, this Vidya, Brahma Vidya, ashrayati, ye remains, ye amaya vinaha sadavaha. So you have to read like that. Ye amaya vinaha sadavaha teshu Brahma Vidya ashrayati. Those who are straightforward, do not have this kutilatvam, kutilasya bhavaha, kautilyatvam. Those who are straightforward do not have the crookedness. In them, the Brahma Vidya remains. Satyam is important value. That is why Satyam is mentioned. Doesn't mean other values are not important. Satyam is important. And when Satyam is there, being truthful, then other values will be present. That's why importance is given to Satyam. So therefore, Yeshu, Ye Mayavin, na Mayavin, Amayavin. Mayavi, the word we use for Ishvara, that is different. But here in the sense of, it is Mayavi, na Mayavinaha is, the person is straightforward, not crooked. Amayavinaha, sadhava, good people, good person. They got good tendencies, good buddhi. So teshu Brahma Vidya ashrayati. Na asura prakritishu mayavishu. Not in those who have got asuri bhava, who have got asuri sampat, who are commitment to wrong values, wrong habits, wrong thinking, are committed to adharma. So dharma, adharma. So those who follows dharma, those who are dharmika, in them Brahma Vidya remains. Not in those who are adharmikaha, who enjoy torturing people, who enjoy in the pain of others, those who are committed to wrong values, they are cheating people, fraudulent, therefore, Brahma Vidya. And Bhashikara also, he quotes from the Shruti, says, Na yeshu jimam nritam na maya cha
न येषु जन्ममृतं न माया च
Anamritam na maya cha.
iti shrutehe.
Iti shrutehe.
Jimmam means crookedness. Yeshu Jimmam Andratam Mayacha. Double Nakara is there. So people in whom crookedness, this Andratam, this Satyatvam, Antutvam is there. So na Yeshu Jimmam. Then Yeshu Jim na. Andratam na. You have to take like that because Yeshu Jimmam na. Jimmam is crookedness. Jimmam na. Andratam na Maya cha. Maya also not there. That cheating also is not there. Crookedness and the cheating, fraudulence also not there. In whom? Iti, the Shruti says, Yeshu Purusheshu Jimmam na. Then Andratam na Maya cha. Chakarat Maya also na. Iti. Iti Shrutehe. Iti Shruti Vachanam is there. In whom? Even though this is talked about in the context of Upasana, but values are common. Therefore, it can be taken for by the Anta also. This mantra is, the context of Upasana is talked about. So, but we can take with regard to Vedanta also. It is Prashna Upanishad. Pra is there. It must be Prashna Upanishad. Iti Shruti Vakyam. Therefore, Tasmat Satyam Ayatanam iti kalpyate.
तस्मात् सत्यम्
Ayatanam
आयतनम् कल्प्यते
Therefore, Satyam is the Ayatanam, the abode of Brahma Vidya. So Brahma Vidya remains where it remains Tishtati, for which the Satyam is the where Kutra Tishtati, Yatra Brahma Vidya Tishtati, Kutra Satyam Ayatanam. So Satyam is the abode of Brahma Vidya. So therefore, therefore, where Yatra Satyam Asti Brahma Vidya should be there, not. But where Brahma Vidya is there Satyam must be there. The Satyavan need not pursue Jnani. An ethical person need not be an Jnani. Ethical person. But a Jnani must be an ethical person. We saw the same thing in Panchadashi also. So Jnani must be ethical. He must be a dharmika. That is dharmikatvam, that dharma is spontaneous in that person. Being a dharmika is spontaneous for Jnani. He doesn't have to cultivate. It is because he was a dharmika, therefore Brahma Vidya is. That's why he said abode ayatanamiti. Then tapa adishu eva pratishtatvena
तप आदिषु एव प्रतिष्ठात्वेन
praptasya satyasya
Praptasya
प्राप्तस्य
Satyasya
सत्यस्य
punaha ayatanatvena grahanam
पुनः आयतनत्वेन ग्रहणम्
sadhanati ishayatva jnapanartham.
साधनातिशयत्व ज्ञापनार्थम्
See, tapa tasyai tapodama karma iti. Iti is one iti by saying tapodama karma iti shabdana iti shabdaha upalakshanartha pradarshanartha iti said. That is not only tapaha damaha karma, other things also by saying that satyam also is included in that. So therefore tapa adishu pratishtatvena, when tapa dama karma etc. these enjoy the status of being the pratishtha, the support, the legs. Then Satyam also is praptam eva tatra. Satyam also is covered by that. Then punaha ayatanatmena grahanam, then again it is taken to be considered to be enjoying the status of ayatanam. Why it is? It is sadhana atishayatva jnapanartham. It is for the purpose of jnapanartham, revealing, showing the greatness of Satya. The Satya sadhanam. Atishayatvam is greatness. In the sadhana, tapo, dhamma, karma, there Satyam also is included. Separately mentioning Satyam, praptasya satyasya, Satyam which is praptam, which is obtained as pratishtha, is covered in the tapadishu. Then why again separate mentioning? Because it is atishayatvat. It enjoys the status of being atishaya. Atishaya means great. Sadhana atishayatva jnapanartham. For the purpose of revealing the greatness of the Satya sadhanam. Therefore, only punaha grahanam bhavati. In the mantra also, Satyam is mentioned. Otherwise, Satyam is not required. Why Satyam is separately mentioned? It is covered in the, even though it is covered in the tapa adishu. That is why it said, Yatra Brahma Vidya asti, Tatra Satyam asti. The person must be a Satyavan, in whom only Brahma Vidya can be. Even in the absence of other qualities, the Satyam must be there. Satyam is there, Brahma Vidya will be there. I mean, Brahma Vidya, Veta Brahma Vidya, Satyam will be there. Even other qualities are not there. I'm just saying other qualities not there. It means to show that The Brahma Vidya, where Brahma Vidya, in whom Brahma Vidya is, that person has to be Satyavan. Even if he has a deficiency of other disciplines, but he must be a Satyavan. Tasava Satishayatva Jnapanartham Uktam Asti. An Acharya quotes from Vishnu Smriti, Ashwamedha Sagastram Cha Satyam Cha
Ashwamedha Sahasram Cha Satyam Cha
सत्यं च
Tulaya Dhritam
Tulaya
तुलया
Dhritam
Ashwamedha Sagastra Cha
Ashwamedha
सहस्र
Sahasra
Sahasracha
Satyamekam Vishishyate Iti Smritehe.
Satyam Ekam
Satyamekam
Vishishyate Iti
Vishishyate
Smritehe.
Smritehe.
This is an Anushtup meter, but we can recite in the Gita Shloka. Ashwamedha Sahasram Cha Satyam Cha Tulaya Dhritam Ashwamedha Sahasra Cha Satyamekam Vishishyate Iti Smritehe Iti Smriti Vishnu Smriti. That is Ashwamedha Sahasram. Sahasram 1000 Ashwamedha Yajna and Satyam. So Ashwamedha Yajna is not easy to perform. It only Kshatriya can perform. You must be a king, you should have a kingdom, all those things, and a lot of rich money, everything is involved. And if you Tulaya, if you put in a balance, they both Ashwamedha and Satyam. Sagastra Ashwamedha, not one. 1000 Ashwamedha and Satyam. They will be equal. Tulaya Dhritam Bhavati, Satyam Dhritam Bhavati, Ashwamedha, Sagastram, Satyam Cha, Tulaya. Tula is balance, the weighing balance. They will be equal. In fact, he said, Ashwamedha Sagastra Cha, even when compared to Sagastra Ashwamedha, Satyam Ekam Vishishyate. Satyam Vishishyate overwhelms, excels even the and thousands of Ashwamedha Yajna. So that Satyam, Satya Sadhanam is glorified. So therefore, Ashwamedha Sahasra Cha Ati Vishishyate, Atishayate. Satyam Ekam Vishishyate. Satyam Vishishyate, it excels Ashwamedha Sahasrat, Panchami. When we do comparison, then Panchami is used. Ashwamedha Sahasrat, when compared to Sahasra Ashwamedha, Satyam excels. Satyam overpowers. Iti Satyam is glorified in this Smriti. This mantra is completed. Next mantra, small mantra, that we'll do in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidham Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Dhanyavadaha.
धन्यवादः
धन्यवाद विजय
धन्यवाद.